What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. Today I've got for you two stories, starting with this one. Absolutely ridiculous. This guy was caught using AI to write his wedding vows by his fiancé, who then stormed out, stopping the wedding. Without further ado, sit back, relax, and let's get into this monstrosity of a story. I was caught using AI to write my wedding vows, and my partner walked out. What do? I, a 35-year-old man, recently had a wedding with my partner, a 34-year-old woman. We've had a stable and happy relationship so far, and I love her more than anything in the world. The problem arose when it came to writing vows. Don't get me wrong, I love many things about my partner, but I just couldn't figure out how to put them into tangible vows. I decided to use ChatGPT so I can have something well written and expressive to share at the ceremony. The thing about my partner is that she's very confrontational and no nonsense. If something annoys her, she immediately addresses it with no room for backing out. I also know that she's expressed disdain for AI in the past, but I didn't realize how far the hatred could go. I don't know how, but she immediately recognized that the vows were AI. After I'd finished, she had this angry look and whispered to me, "Did you use freaking AI to write that?" I was quiet because I couldn't believe she'd noticed, and she was choosing to address it while we were on full display for everyone. She then said that I either speak from the heart or she walks out. I literally couldn't get any words out, and she kept her promise and walked back down the aisle, much to all of our friends and family's confusion. She's been ghosting me these past few days, which is atypical for her and has honestly given me panic attacks. Most people agree that calling off a marriage because of AI vows was an overreaction, and that maybe it was a sign that our relationship would have issues, but a few female friends have said that they would have done the same. I'm hurt, and honestly just needed it to help make the day more special. Is it worth fixing? Honestly, I think this is one of the worst things you can possibly do at a wedding. In the moment where you are trying to convey how much the person you're literally just about to marry means to you, how much you care about them, how much you're looking forward to spending the rest of your life with them, you've used AI to help you write that out. I think that is just so wrong. And I get it. Look, maybe you're not the best with words. That's fine, but at least they'd be your words and not artificial intelligences. And your partner is marrying you for you and your words, not ChatGPT's. It's just insane. I honestly would do the same as your partner. If I could work out, or if I found out that the person I'm about to marry has written their vows using AI, I'm out of there. I'm sorry, that is just that's so poor. I don't know if it gets much worse than that. I get it from your perspective. You wanted to convey how you truly felt, but I don't think that is the way of doing it at all. That's just so bad. Okay, now before we get into the comments, and as you can imagine, they were pretty scathing. First of all, I want to read out this quick edit that OP left on this post just 10 hours after posting it. He said, "Okay, I screwed up. I didn't check this post for a while because I wanted more points of view instead of just getting torn to shreds, but I understand why the situation is worse than I thought it was. I've been trying to contact my partner's family to see if I can talk to her again, but apparently she's been staying out of state with her sister. I'm going to tell her when she gets back what I heard here and that I understand. I'm also going to write new vows without AI and bring her favourite flowers and snacks. I still want her to know that I love her and know her. I will post an update when I can. Thank you all, even if some feedback could have been a tad more nicely put." Yeah, as you can probably imagine, and as we're going to get into right now, the comments weren't best pleased. Someone said, "Did you write this with AI too, bud? Come on, man, you should have been talking from the heart." OP then replied, and this was heavily downvoted by Redditors, "No, I could write this just fine. For the vows, it was different because I wanted them to be perfect, and there was just a lot I wanted to say that I ended up not being able to say anything. No, that's just not an excuse. Perfect vows are not written by AI, they're written by you. And what makes them perfect is surely the fact that they're written by you, even if they are objectively imperfect, right? They've got to come from you. That's the whole point. You're marrying another person. ChatGPT isn't third wheeling here. Somebody else said, I don't know why so many men, sometimes women too, but it's usually men, have this belief in the back of their heads that they have this overruling right with their female partner, where they can just ignore or dismiss whatever she wants or prefers as long as he thinks he's got a better idea. Like she's a child and he's the parent who knows better. And now we have you, quote, she told me explicitly multiple times that she hates AI, but I felt like it wasn't a big deal and that I needed it, so I used it anyway for my wedding vows. How can I show her that she's overreacting, quote? I suppose that is kind of what OP has said. The comment continues, you don't do that because she's not overreacting. You disrespected her majorly. You're not the victim here. You knew dang well what her reaction to you using AI would be, and you did it anyway because, again, you thought you knew better and that she wouldn't find out anyway. Again, like she's a stupid child and you're her parent replacing her dead goldfish before she gets home from school. She deserves better than to marry a man who thinks of her that way. That is a very harsh comment. I'm not personally sure if I would fully agree with that. I feel like, I don't know. I'm sort of like in two minds with that because on the one hand, yeah, OP's fiance has said in the past how much she doesn't like AI and he knows that and has still done what he's done. But I don't necessarily agree with the whole like parent and child thing and that this is like a wider sort of sexist debate. I think he just thought that he could get away with using AI. Simple as that. Still a terrible, terrible decision, but yeah, I wouldn't make it out to be more than it is. Anyway, OP replied saying, I didn't realize she'd be able to tell right away. When I spoke of her disdain for AI, people are making it seem like it was a deal breaker that I simply ignored, which isn't the case. I didn't understand that it meant that much to her, and I definitely won't be making the same careless mistake again. Somebody else said, the thing is, this is all a slippery slope. Once you get AI to do something as important as writing your wedding vows, you will even more easily be getting AI to reply to your text messages and creating apology messages when you get into arguments which you didn't even write. At which point, she might as well be in a relationship with ChatGPT instead of you. That is a great point. OP replied, this is my first time using it to write text, and this whole situation scared me off it for good. If I can fix things, hopefully I won't fall into a slippery slope. Somebody else asked, didn't you have an efficient? Ours offered to help us both individually with vows if we wanted, i.e. even just bullet points of what we wanted to say, and they would help with wordsmithing. AI isn't even well written or genuine. This was a major, expensive, public and preventable incident you caused, and you are not looking for ways to own it and fix it, but for reasons why she is overreacting. OP said, well, I actually thought that getting help from the efficient would be less authentic. I guess I took an even worse route without realizing. Well, that makes just no sense to me, sorry. It really doesn't make any sense. By the way, I feel like using ChatGPT to sort of generally construct an idea is okay. Like if OP had said to ChatGPT, I've got these key things that I want to talk about and I can't quite work out a structure as to how to get all these things into the vows in a very succinct way. Can you help me with that? I feel like that would have been okay. But the fact that your fiance has noticed like pretty quickly that you've used ChatGPT tells me that you have just read what it's written to you and you've just said, well, can you just write my vows for me? These are the key points. So how would using an efficient be less authentic than that? I mean, that is as fake as you can possibly get. Anyway, somebody else said, I am skeptical that most people, as you said, told you that this is an overreaction. Let's see the vows. Wow, I would love to see the vows because then we could really judge. Somebody else replied to this jokingly, saying, as if these were the vows, in vain I have struggled. It will not do. My feelings will not be repressed. You must allow me to tell you how ardently I admire and love you. In declaring myself thus, I'm fully aware that I will be going expressly against the wishes of my family, my friends, and I hardly need add my own better judgment. Sorry, I was really enjoying the effects there. Oh, somebody else gave another comment.
I, user, have strong feelings for you. Object of affection, such as love, admiration, and other feelings that express how I feel about you.
Also, have I mentioned that the Pro subscription is on offer right now, and ChatGPT 5 is better in most ways. Just remember to delete the last part.
Anyway, all that silliness aside, let's get into the update post. This came 2 months later. I honestly wasn't planning to do an update after all because of how humiliating this entire situation has been. I didn't want to give more of a reason for people to rip me apart, but now that my story is posted on a popular YouTube channel, and it's going to be on mine as well, there probably won't be much of an escape route for me. There's no doubt people we know will find it now, so I wanted to give the short update everyone has been itching to get. Apparently it was Smosh that reacted to this post. I did what I said previously, and I told her about the Reddit post, and how the replies gave me her perspective, and that I was sorry. She ended up getting even more angry with me about posting our business, even though our names weren't mentioned, and that she couldn't believe I needed online strangers to tell me why I was wrong. That is a great point from her. I also don't know why you needed this post to realize how wrong you were. Also, apparently my mum was texting her about paying back all the wasted wedding money, and she used that against me too, which I don't think is fair. I have no control over what my family does. Snacks and Flowers didn't do much. She refuses to give me another chance, even after offering to go to couples counseling. So yeah, the wedding is never happening again. It's over. This has been the most horrendous time in my life. I've thought about giving up altogether. Meanwhile, she's posting about brunch with friends on her social media. It makes me wonder how she could move on that fast while I'm a wreck. People have accused me of not caring about her enough to write my own vows, yet the difference in our reactions to splitting up says the reverse. I hope you're all happy. Feel free to rub salt in the wound. I'm not coming back to this account. Wow. Alright, let's get straight to the comments. Somebody said, and this was pretty much the top comment, well, the difference in your reactions just says that this was the final straw for her, while you were, and still are, freaking clueless. So accurate. You can tell by the fact that she just doesn't really seem to care, that she hasn't, in truth, really cared for a while. Or at least she was looking for something like this. Like, this is not like a singular action that has just caused her to be done with the wedding. She's been thinking about it probably for some time, and that was the last straw. Someone else replied to this saying, he really doesn't get it, lol. He decided that it wasn't worth his time or effort to write his own vows on his wedding day, so offloaded the subpar task to an AI assistant, and is now mad that his fiancé thinks he's a moron. He can say that he wanted them to be perfect all he wants, but the reality is he couldn't be bothered to make them perfect on his own, yet he wrote both the post and the update just fine. Someone else said, by the way OP, this line absolutely took me out. Snacks and Flowers didn't do much. Did you actually think it would? You're legitimately telling us that you, at 35 years old, actually thought you could solve the fact that she publicly left you at the altar in the middle of the ceremony by bringing her snacks and flowers. Honestly, that tells me everything I need to know. I bet you didn't even bring her preferred snacks and brought your own favourites. I had more to say, but it's clear you don't have the reading comprehension required for it to matter, so why bother? I can see why you needed AI's help. Oh, brutal comment, but very fair. Someone else said, yeah, he probably asked AI what snacks and flowers women prefer most. And finally, someone said, dude, paying back all the wasted wedding money and I have no control over what my family does. Those two quotes give me all the information to say this. She dodged a bullet. Someone else said, yeah, this made me think the ex-fiancé was also dealing with a nasty in-law and a fiancé not willing to stand up for her. I literally wrote the same thing about her dodging the bullet because of this on another site where this was posted. So there we go. That is the end of this story. Ridiculous story, really, because it just came from a man who wasn't willing to write his own wedding vows. That's just insane. Who's not willing to do that? Also, I feel like even if you're a terrible writer, just writing a bullet point list of reasons why you want to marry this woman or reasons why she's so amazing. You know, you don't have to make it like publishable, phenomenally well written, whatever. Just even writing a list of things and just reading that out, unpolished, would have been so much better, probably quite charming as well, to be fair, than getting ChatGPT to do it. Like, it's just so dumb. Look, I'm not married, so I don't know how writing your own vows works, but I also feel like sometimes don't you sort of write your vows together, and then you can sort of get a gauge for how long they're going to be, the pacing, the content in a way as well, like the style. I don't know, it feels like it would be quite a fun thing to do. Or if you want to write them separately, whatever, just make sure that one of you is using ChatGPT, someone else is using Claude, someone else is using whatever the new AI agent is. It's just like, it's insane. Why would you not just go to your partner and say, listen, I'm struggling making these vows, I'm going to be honest. You probably know me quite well at this point because we're getting married. I don't know. Great communication from everyone involved, especially ChatGPT. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this one. Really hope you enjoyed this very original story, I will say. Now, I know that Smosh got there before me. However, I included an update. So I win, Smosh, if you're watching. We should collab. Imagine that. Me on the Smosh channel. I would fly out to America right now to get on it. I genuinely would. That'd be class. But yeah, that's going to do it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want another story similar to this one, just as crazy, it's on screen right here. If you are new to the channel, subscribe, and I will catch you tomorrow with hopefully another ridiculous Reddit story.